These are 10 things you didn't know about NHL stars. And at number 10, I bet you didn't realize that Oetkin isn't the age he claims to be.
Ovechkin is 10 years older than the guy he's tied in points with.
Yeah, this dude straight up lied about his age so he can get into the NHL.
Alexander Ovechkin was 18 years of age when we met up with him, and he was already being touted as the next big thing in the sport.
You see, when he was playing junior hockey, the cutoff age was 20. And hockey insider Martin Leclerc claims Ovechkin was at least 21 when he was playing for Dynamo Moscow, giving him a significant advantage and improving his draft stock. But that's not even the craziest part, because leading up to his NHL career, the Florida Panthers, they tried to pull every string just to draft this guy. You see, the CBA states a player must be 18 years old by September 15th. Ovechkin was born September 17th, 1985. And Panthers GM Dudley tried to convince the NHL that if you subtracted the leap year days during the course of Ovechkin's lifetime, he actually turned 18 by the required date. The NHL, well, they shot it down 4 times. But he's not the only guy to lie about his age.
I see a little gray hair there.
Yeah, it's all about this is different, yeah.
Because Connor McDavid's parents told his youth coaches he was older than he actually was. This way, he could play against higher skilled players and improve his game.
This is my Power Edge Pro. Where's yours?
Alright, now that lie is a little bit more honorable. But what the Panthers did to Jack Eichel was straight up evil. You see, back in 2021, Jack had a herniated disc in his neck.
Initially, it seemed the issue was limited to a broken skate blade, requiring assistance to the bench.
The dude needed surgery, but he was on the Panthers at the time, and the owners, they told him no. I mean, I'm no doctor, but damn, you should be able to decide your own treatment, right? Anyways, the Panthers went on to strip him of his captaincy, and he was traded to the Knights, and they let him have his preferred surgery. Well, would you look at that? I guess it turned out all right in the end. Now, at number 8, I bet you didn't know that at one point, Cale Makar turned down the NHL. Yeah, you heard that right. You see, many thought Makar was the top overall draft prospect back in 2017, and that's why the Avalanche selected him 4th overall in the draft. But he was in no rush to join the league. Instead, he opted to join the UMass college hockey program. I mean, that's cool. Enjoy your time in college and turn pro next year, right? Nope. Even after being selected to the all-rookie team, he wanted to stay in college.
I'm so fortunate that I chose this school, and it's a jersey that I'm very proud to wear, and honestly, it's going to be a couple of years that I never forget in my entire life.
I mean, at this point, the Avalanche were straight up begging the dude to join the NHL. I mean, I guess it's a good decision since he went on to win the Hobey Baker Award.
The 2019 Hobey Baker Award winner is Cale Makar.
And 3 days later, the impossible happened.
As Makar jumps in, moves it and shoots. Cale Makar, welcome to the National Hockey League.
This guy made his NHL debut during the playoffs and scored his first goal on his first ever shot. I mean, that's just straight up unbelievable.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
But what's also unbelievable is how Conor Bard almost had his career ruined for good. You see, when Conor was a young boy, he almost broke his wrist.
It was way more serious than we at first thought anyway, because it was near the growth plate.
And the doctors wanted him to take some time off, but he didn't want to do that. So instead, he just played using his left top hand. And the result? That insanely fast shot we all come to associate with Conor.
He was expecting it to come back to him.
Bedard now, Main Street, he scores!
But at number 6, I bet you never knew how many superstars used to live together. You see, Jack Hughes grew up living in Toronto because his dad Jim was the director of player development for the Maple Leafs. Jim went on to draft William Nylander in 2014, and to help develop him further, he had him come live in his house. Yeah, so between Willie, Jack, Quinn, and Luke, you got 4 first-round picks living under one roof. I think it's safe to say that will never happen again.
Growing up with my brothers, we'd get into a lot of fights just because, like, whatever they were doing, I wanted to do.
And speaking of Nylander, did you know that he once gave up $1 million? In 2018, Willie became an unrestricted free agent, and he couldn't quite get a deal sorted between him and Toronto. So he decided to pick up his skates and head over to Austria for the summer. The season started, and every day that he remained unsigned cost him $30,000.
Now, Leafs fans waited with bated breath for the decision today, which came in around 4:59 p.m., just 1 minute before the 5 p.m. deadline.
Luckily, just minutes before the December 1st deadline, Nylander agreed to a 6-year, $45 million contract.
Tonight, we've confirmed that Nylander signed a 6-year contract extension worth more than $6.9 million a year.
But this next star didn't agree to anything at all, and his story's a little weird. And real quick, if you're liking this style of video, make sure to subscribe. We'll be covering every hockey moment just like this. We all know Patrick Kane, the right winger for the Red Wings. But did you know this dude was a star long before then? Well, sort of. You see, this dude landed on his first NHL trading card when he was just 6 years old. Oh yeah. His father was a season ticket holder for the Buffalo Sabres, so they went to a good amount of games.
Hey, I'm Patrick Kane. I'm back in Buffalo where I grew up. Let me show you my room.
And they made their way into the background of Sylvain Turgeon's pinnacle trading card. And that's not all. He also snuck into the poster of Pat LaFontaine.
Here's me. They always joke saying I'm like picking my nose or something, but I think I'm just biting my nail.
All right, I'm starting to think they knew what they were doing. But at number 3, this guy didn't have a clue of what he was doing.
One move. With a shot away, scores! Oh my heavens!
We all know Erik Carlson, but he didn't always play D. You see, when he was growing up in Sweden, his dad was a lumberjack and a pro hockey player. The only thing was, his dad was a goalie, and young Erik wanted to be just like him. Though, his dad Jonas didn't want his son playing goalie, so he blasted 6-year-old Erik with a slap shot to get that idea out of his head. I guess his dad made the right choice, seeing as Erik's now a 7-time All-Star. But I bet you didn't know this next player was a star too. Yeah, that's Stanley Cup champion Nathan MacKinnon. I think it's safe to say we won't see him on Dancing with the Stars anytime soon. Now, let's check in on his acting skills.
Just try and focus on the game. Yeah, true.
All right, that's a little better, but I'm still a little creeped out.
Sorry, this is getting a little awkward.
Let's move on to the final moment. And I can guarantee almost no one knows about this. Back in 2014, Nathan Horton was at the center of one of the weirdest occurrences in NHL history. Nathan scored a goal early on in the game against the Stars.
I didn't see what happened. I didn't either.
But shortly after, Rich Peverley collapsed and the game was postponed. The game was rescheduled for the following month, but Horton suffered a lower body injury, so he couldn't lace up.
Just delivers a crushing open ice hit.
Nathan Horton is in some serious trouble right now. I don't think Nathan Horton ever anticipated that error.
And in an effort to offer fans a complete 60-minute experience, the NHL decided to commence the rescheduled game with a 1-0 score in favor of Columbus, crediting the goal to Horton. So this guy technically scored a goal in a game where he never set foot on the ice. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Or something like that. I don't know, but that was weird, man. And if you thought that was weird, check out this video right here. These are the weirdest moments in NHL history. Go ahead, click it. What are you waiting for?